Welcome back to Wings of Bibles. I'm Dustin, and today we'll be covering 91-303 and 91-307. Just a quick update, I was not able to complete the flight up to La Crosse, Wisconsin due to a winter storm that blew through, which was definitely not on any of the TAFs. So my plan this week is to go Friday. I know it's been delayed quite a bit because of that storm, but we're going to continue with the short videos this week, and then once I finish that flight, we'll continue with the normal length videos, which is about 30 minutes. So jumping right in, we have 91-303 Aerobatic flight. 91-303 says, no person may operate an aircraft in aerobatic flight over any congested area of a city, town, or settlement, over an open-air assembly of persons, within lateral boundaries of the surface areas of Class Bravo, Class Charlie, Class Delta, or Class Echo airspace designated for an airport, within 4 nautical miles of the center line of any federal airway, below an altitude of 1,500 feet above the surface, or when flight visibility is less than 3 statute miles. For the purpose of this section, aerobatic flight means an intentional maneuver involving an abrupt change in aircraft's attitude, an abnormal attitude, or abnormal acceleration not necessary for normal flight. So these are the places you cannot do aerobatic flight. And then they give a definition for aerobatic flight down here. Up next we have 91-307 parachutes and parachuting. No pilot of a civil aircraft may allow a parachute that is available for emergency use to be carried in that aircraft unless it is an approved type and has been packed by a certificated and appropriately rated parachute rigger within the preceding 180 days if its canopy, shrouds, and harnesses are composed exclusively of nylon, rayon, or other similar synthetic fiber or materials that are substantially resistant to damage and mold, mildew, or other fungi and other rotting agents propagated in a moist environment, or within the preceding 60 days if any part of the parachute is composed of silk, spongy, or other natural fiber or materials not specified in paragraph A1 of this section. So this is saying no pilot can allow a parachute available for emergency use on the aircraft unless these things have been done. So it has to be packed within 180 days if it's made of these materials right here, nylon, rayon, and similar synthetic fiber materials, so that you can check for mold, mildew, any other fungi on that parachute. And within 60 days, if it's composed of silk or spongy or other natural fibers or materials. Except in emergency, no pilot in command may allow and no person may conduct a parachute operation from an aircraft within the United States except in accordance with Part 105 of this chapter. So, if you're a pilot, you cannot conduct a parachute operation unless you comply with Part 105 of this chapter. I'm not going to go into Part 105, but if you're looking for that rule, it's in Part 105. Unless each occupant of the aircraft is wearing an approved parachute, no pilot of a civil aircraft carrying any person other than a crew member may execute any intentional maneuver that exceeds a bank of 60 degrees relative to the horizon or a nose up or nose down attitude of 30 degrees relative to the horizon. So this is referencing 91-303. Those are abnormal maneuvers not necessary for normal flight. So if you're doing aerobatic flight, you need to have a approved parachute. Paragraph C of this section, so this section right here, does not apply to flight tests for pilot certification or rating, or spins and other flight maneuvers required by the regulations of any certificate or rating when given by a certificated flight instructor or an airline transport pilot instructing in accordance with 61-67 of this chapter. So here's the rule and here's the exception. That's a big theme in the FARs. They give a rule, and then if there's any exceptions, they will give the exceptions to those rules. That's just how you can understand these FARs here. Paragraph E says, for the purposes of this section, approved parachute means a parachute manufactured under a type certificate or a technical standard order C23 series, or a personnel carrying military parachute identified by an NAF, AAF, or AN drawing number, and AAF order number, or any other military designation or specification number. So they give a definition for what an approved parachute is. And these are the orders that specify what a approved parachute is. And that's going to do it for this video on 91-303 and 91-307. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. See ya!